Do you feel caught in a whirlwind of chaotic emotions, lost amidst the invisible chains of life? Let the light of ancient Stoic philosophy illuminate your path, guiding you out of that dark labyrinth and towards true freedom of the soul. Emotional detachment doesn't mean becoming cold and indifferent, but rather embarking on a journey to discover the hidden strength within each of us. As Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." Be courageous enough to sever those binding cords, allowing your spirit to soar freely and find genuine peace. Today, 12 Stoic principles will serve as guiding stars in the night sky, illuminating your path through the storms of the heart, helping you rediscover balance and focus on the true values of life. Let the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca ignite the flame of resilience within you, empowering you to face any challenge life throws your way. Don't let emotions control you. Master your mind, take charge of your own life, and discover true freedom from within. Begin your journey to explore these 12 Stoic lessons today, and you'll realize that happiness isn't far away, but resides within your own heart. If you find this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button and join our community to continue your journey of self-discovery. We value your thoughts, so don't hesitate to leave a comment below. If you're ready for change, boldly declare, "I am free." Let's walk together on this path of emotional liberation towards a life of self-mastery and peace. Number 1. Discover the hidden power of emotional detachment. Have you ever felt like your heart is a fragile kite, swept away in a storm of emotions, unable to control its own direction? Have you ever wondered how much power you've given to others, allowing them to hold the keys to your happiness and peace? If the answer is yes, then it's time to explore the hidden power of emotional detachment. Emotional detachment doesn't mean becoming indifferent, cold, or ceasing to care about others. It's a journey of liberating yourself from invisible shackles so you're no longer a puppet manipulated by the fluctuations of the external world. It's a process of learning to master your emotions so that your happiness and peace no longer depend on anyone but yourself. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Emotional detachment is the key to changing how you perceive the world and the relationships around you. When you no longer cling to a person or a situation, you realize you have the power to choose how to react to any event in life. Imagine your life as a garden. When you cling to a single flower, you'll be caught in a whirlwind of worry and fear when it fades. But when you learn to appreciate the whole garden, you'll find joy and peace in every moment, whether it's sunny or rainy. Emotional detachment is the process of broadening your perspective, to see the beauty of the entire garden of life instead of focusing on just one flower. Don't let your emotions be controlled by others like a puppet. Be brave and embark on the journey of discovering the power of detachment, so you can confidently take charge of your life and find true happiness and peace from within. Detachment is not a selfish act, but a gift you give to yourself. When you're no longer caught up in the emotional whirlwind of others, you'll have the time and energy to focus on what truly matters to you. You'll be able to explore your passions, pursue your goals, and build a more meaningful life. Imagine you're driving a car. If you let someone else take the wheel, they'll decide your direction. They might take you to places you don't want to go, or even cause an accident. But when you take the wheel yourself, you can freely choose your own path. You can explore new landscapes, enjoy the journey, and reach your destination in your own way. Emotional detachment is similar. It allows you to take control of your life, so you can freely choose the path that leads to happiness and success. Imagine you're in a relationship where your partner often makes you feel hurt or disrespected. If you cling to that relationship, you'll continue to endure the pain and lose your self-confidence. But if you learn to detach emotionally, you'll be able to see the relationship more objectively. You'll realize that you deserve to be treated better and can make the decision to leave the relationship to protect yourself. Or imagine you're working in a toxic environment where colleagues constantly criticize and belittle you. If you let those words affect you, you'll lose motivation and faith in yourself. But if you learn to detach emotionally, you'll be able to focus on your work and not let negative words affect you. You'll be able to prove your worth and achieve success in your career. Emotional detachment is not an easy process, but it's a worthwhile journey. When you learn to let go of emotional attachments, you'll find true freedom and peace. You'll be able to live a more meaningful life, focus on what's important, and achieve your goals. River of passing events, and strong is its current. No sooner is a thing brought to sight than it is swept by, and another takes its place, and this too will be swept. Number 2. Embracing the impermanence of all things. Imagine standing in a forest during autumn, the leaves transitioning from vibrant green to warm hues of orange and red. Each leaf gracefully falls to the ground, symbolizing the cycle of life and the impermanence of all things. This natural process serves as a profound metaphor for our lives and relationships. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of impermanence is a fundamental truth. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, often contemplated the ephemeral nature of life. He understood that everything, from joy and pain to success and relationships, is temporary. This perspective allows us to cherish the present moment without clinging to it excessively. By accepting that everything has an end, we can face the changes and losses in life with greater equanimity. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Think often on how swiftly all things pass away and are gone." By internalizing this, we can live a more serene and resilient life. When we realize that nothing is permanent, we alleviate suffering by not clinging to what must change. The falling leaves in autumn remind us that even the most beautiful things eventually fade. By embracing this truth, we can learn to appreciate the beauty of each moment, let go of what no longer serves us, and live a life of greater peace and acceptance. In Stoic philosophy, impermanence is not merely an abstract concept, but also a practical tool that helps us live a more meaningful and peaceful life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that time is a river of passing events, and strong is its current. No sooner is a thing brought to sight than it is swept by and another takes its place, and this too will be swept away. For instance, consider a relationship that was once very important to you, be it friendship, love, or kinship. When the relationship ends, you may feel pain and loss. However, if you view the situation through the lens of Stoic philosophy, you'll see that every relationship has its own life cycle. Some relationships come and go like autumn leaves, leaving behind beautiful memories and valuable lessons. Instead of clinging to the past, cherish what you had and look towards the future. Open your heart to new relationships, new experiences, and new opportunities. By accepting the impermanence of all things, you'll no longer be haunted by the past or worried about the future. You'll be able to live fully in the present, savoring each moment and appreciating what you have. As another example, consider your career. You may have achieved some success, but you may also have faced setbacks. Whether it's success or failure, remember that they are just fleeting moments in life. Don't let success make you complacent, nor let failure discourage you. Instead, learn from your experiences and keep moving forward. Impermanence is an inevitable part of life. When we accept this truth, we can live a more meaningful and peaceful life. We will no longer fear change, loss, or failure. Instead, we will cherish each moment, live fully in the present, and look towards the future with faith and hope. Number 3. Don't let your mind become a prison. The human mind, with its boundless creativity, can paint beautiful pictures of the future, but it can also become a mischievous magician, magnifying fears and anxieties, creating haunting phantoms of what might come to pass. We often worry about failures that haven't happened, fear losses we haven't experienced, and grieve over past events as if they were still present. But are these mental pains truly as deep and persistent as we believe? Are the monsters we inadvertently create in our minds as terrifying as we imagine? Stoic philosophy, with its timeless wisdom, gently reminds us that suffering is often amplified in the mind far beyond reality. Take a moment to reflect on the challenges you've faced. Before entering the fray, your mind might have conjured up 1,000 worst-case scenarios, humiliating defeats, and unbearable pain. But when you actually confronted them, you realized you were stronger than you thought, capable of overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. And the pain, no matter how great, eventually faded with time, leaving behind valuable lessons that helped you grow. Don't let your mind become a prison, trapping you in fear and worry. Learn to tame negative thoughts, accept reality, and live fully in each moment. Remember, as Seneca once said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Believe in your own strength, face challenges with courage, and turn them into opportunities for growth. For only when we dare to step outside the comfort zone of our minds can we discover our hidden potential and live a meaningful and fulfilling life. Number 4. Focus on what you can control. Imagine yourself sailing a boat on a vast ocean. The winds may blow fiercely and the waves may rise high, but you cannot control them. However, you can adjust the sails and steer the rudder to guide your boat through the storm. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. Life is like an ocean, full of turbulence and uncertainty. There are things we cannot change, such as the actions of others or unforeseen events. But as Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Our true strength lies in how we react to these events. By focusing on our thoughts, attitudes, and actions, we can face any challenge with calmness and clarity. No matter how fierce the storms of life may be, we can hold steady to the helm and steer our ship towards peace and happiness. Stoicism does not encourage us to avoid or ignore life's difficulties. Instead, it teaches us to accept what we cannot change and focus on what we can control. By doing so, we can overcome any adversity and find peace and happiness amidst life's turbulence. Stoicism is not just a set of dry teachings, it is a practical guide to help us navigate life's challenges. For example, when faced with a serious illness, we cannot control the progression of the disease. However, we can control our attitude towards adversity. Instead of succumbing to despair, we can choose to maintain a positive spirit, seek support from loved ones and medical professionals, and cherish every precious moment of life. Or when confronted with injustice in society, we cannot single-handedly change the world, but we can control how we react to those injustices. Instead of complaining or feeling helpless, we can speak up for what is right act for justice, and contribute to positive change. Even in small, everyday situations, Stoicism can help us find peace. For example, when stuck in traffic, instead of getting angry and frustrated, we can use that time to listen to music, read a book, or simply relax and observe our surroundings. By focusing on what we can control, we not only reduce stress and anxiety, but also open up new opportunities. When we're no longer caught in the vortex of negativity, we have more energy and creativity to pursue our goals. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Stoicism reminds us that happiness is not a destination, but a journey. By focusing on what we can control, we can create our own path, a path that leads to true peace, happiness, and meaning. Number 5. Don't let your ego rule your life. Have you ever wondered why the pure joy of a child seems to fade as we grow older? Why do we often feel insecure, anxious, and unhappy, even when we have the things we desire? The answer may lie in our own ego. Like an uninvited guest, the ego creeps into our minds, sowing seeds of greed, envy, and fear. It makes us cling to relationships, material possessions, and fame, as if they were the only life rafts in the vast ocean of life. But the truth is, these life rafts only drown us further in a whirlpool of emotions and suffering. Imagine a blooming flower. When you admire it with all your respect and love, you feel its pure beauty and vibrant life. But if you try to grasp it, you inadvertently hurt its delicate petals and cause it to wither quickly. Love is the same. When you love someone without clinging, you give them space to grow and shine freely. But if you try to control or possess them, you only suffocate the love and eventually extinguish it. Stoic philosophy teaches us that happiness doesn't come from possession or control, but from inner freedom and peace. When you let go of the ego's attachments and ambitions, you'll find an endless source of happiness within yourself. As Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Be brave enough to let go of the ego's shackles, so your soul can soar freely and explore new horizons. For example, a mother can love her child deeply, but if she clings too tightly, constantly worrying and controlling her child's every action, that love becomes a burden for both of them. Conversely, if she learns to let go, allowing her child to explore the world and learn from mistakes, that love becomes a source of motivation for the child to grow and be happy. Similarly, in your career, if you place too much emphasis on your ego, always wanting to prove yourself and compare yourself to others, you'll only feel stressed and tired. But if you learn to let go, focus on your work, and give your best, you'll find joy and satisfaction in the work itself. Remember, we are born as beings of love. Don't let your ego obscure that beautiful nature. Learn to detach from emotional attachments, so your heart can freely love and spread love to everyone around you. Remember, attachment is the ego's game, the complete opposite of love and inner contentment. When the ego is in control, we crave possession and control, leading to dependence and fear of loss. We seek recognition and validation from the outside, making our happiness fragile and vulnerable. In contrast, true love is unconditional giving, without expecting anything in return. It's about accepting and appreciating each person's true nature, not about controlling or possessing them. If we step back and examine our desires and connections from this perspective, we'll begin to see the unnecessary burden they create in our lives. We realize that happiness doesn't come from satisfying the endless demands of the ego, but from letting go of those attachments and connecting with our loving inner nature. For example, a successful man with a high social status might feel empty and unhappy because he's constantly obsessed with maintaining his image and reputation. He doesn't dare express his true feelings, admit his weaknesses, and always lives in anxiety and fear of judgment. However, when he learns to let go of his ego, accept himself, and live authentically, he finds true joy and meaning in life. Now imagine a life lived from love, not ego. Imagine the freedom of not clinging desperately to outcomes, people, or status. When you live from love, you'll no longer be obsessed with success or failure, gain or loss. You'll know how to cherish every moment, every relationship, and every experience in life. Living from love allows you to trust in the abundance of life, to believe that what's meant for you will find you. This isn't wishful thinking, but a deep-rooted belief in your self-worth and capabilities. When you love and respect yourself, you'll confidently walk your path without needing to rely on or prove yourself to anyone. Number 6. The poverty of desire. In the vibrant tapestry of life, poverty is not merely a drab hue of material deprivation, but a vast emptiness within the soul, where the icy winds of discontent and insecurity howl relentlessly. Seneca, a master of Stoic philosophy, once lit a guiding light for lost souls. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is truly poor. This teaching, like a powerful symphony, resonates through the ages, touching hearts that are caught up in the pursuit of fleeting illusions. It reminds us that true wealth is not found in opulent palaces, lavish garments, or extravagant jewels, but in the peace and contentment that dwell deep within our souls. Human nature is like a rushing river, always yearning to flow towards the vast ocean, always striving to overcome treacherous rapids to reach new horizons. Yet, this relentless flow often leads the river astray, washing away the true values of life. Stoic philosophy, like a steadfast lighthouse, illuminates the path for souls lost in the vast sea of desire. It teaches us that happiness is not a distant destination, but a journey of self-discovery and mastery. When we know enough and appreciate what we have, when we are no longer caught in the vortex of insatiable demands, we can find true peace and contentment. Peace and contentment are not passive acceptance or complacency with the present, but a state of tranquility and serenity, where we can listen to the voice of our hearts, appreciate the beauty of life, and cherish every precious moment. It is when we accept challenges and difficulties as an inevitable part of life, when we find joy and meaning in simple things like a child's smile, a warm ray of sunshine, or a gentle breeze. When we are no longer obsessed with material desires, we can open our hearts to embrace noble spiritual values such as love, compassion, and sharing. We will realize that true happiness comes not from how much we possess, but from how much we give. Number 7, make time for self-reflection. Self-reflection, a gem in the treasure trove of Stoic philosophy, is the key that unlocks the door to personal growth and enlightenment. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, believed that regularly examining our thoughts and actions helps us live in alignment with our values and lead a virtuous life. Self-reflection is not about self-blame or self-flagellation, but rather an objective and honest process of looking back. It's like looking into a mirror to clearly see our strengths, weaknesses, and hidden aspects within ourselves. From there, we can recognize our mistakes, learn from them, and continuously improve ourselves. There are many ways to practice self-reflection, from journaling and meditation to simply spending quiet time, pondering the day's experiences. Each person can find a suitable method, as long as it helps you connect with your inner self and listen to your own voice. For example, every night before bed you can take a few minutes to journal about the day's events, the emotions you experience, and the lessons you learned. Or you can meditate, focusing on your breath and observing the thoughts that pass through your mind without judgment. The purpose of self-reflection is not to dwell on the past, but to learn from it and move towards the future. When you understand yourself better, you can make wiser decisions, live a more meaningful life, and achieve true inner peace. Self-reflection is not just about reviewing past actions and thoughts. It's also a powerful tool for shaping the future. When you take the time to understand your values and goals, you can make decisions that are more aligned with your true self. You'll no longer be swayed by fleeting temptations or external pressures, but can confidently walk the path you've chosen. For instance, a young person might feel lost amidst countless career choices. Through self-reflection, they can look back on their interests, passions, and skills, thereby making the right decision about the career path that best suits them. Or someone struggling in a relationship can use self-reflection to better understand their desires and expectations, thereby finding ways to improve the relationship or make a decisive decision if necessary. Self-reflection also helps us confront our deepest fears and insecurities. When we understand the root of these emotions, we can find ways to overcome them and live a more confident and empowered life. For example, someone who fears failure can use self-reflection to realize that failure is not the end, but an opportunity to learn and grow. From there, they can overcome their fear and dare to take on new challenges. In conclusion, self-reflection is an invaluable tool that helps us understand ourselves, live true to our values, and achieve inner peace. Take time each day to look back on yourself, listen to your inner voice, and continuously improve. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Let self-reflection become your companion on the journey of self-discovery and personal development. Number 8. Cultivating personal virtue. Let the ancient philosophy of Stoicism guide you towards a more serene and fulfilling life by discovering the hidden power of cultivating personal virtue and practicing negative visualization. Instead of seeking satisfaction from external factors like praise, recognition, or fleeting material possessions, turn inward and nurture virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are the pillars that support a meaningful and fulfilling life. When you focus on cultivating these qualities, you not only strengthen your emotional resilience, but also empower yourself to take charge of your happiness. You'll no longer be caught in the endless cycle of worries, anxieties, or dependence on others. Instead, you'll find peace and stability from within, regardless of the external world's fluctuations. Imagine a life where your self-worth and happiness are not dependent on anyone else, but solely on your integrity and the moral values you uphold. This is the Stoic ideal, where personal virtue becomes the bedrock for a tranquil mind and a fulfilling life. Furthermore, cultivating virtue goes beyond stabilizing emotions. It transforms how you perceive and react to the world around you. When your actions are guided by wisdom and justice, you become a trustworthy and respected individual. This not only helps you build deeper and more meaningful relationships, but also enables you to live a life of purpose and value. For example, when faced with unjust criticism, instead of reacting with anger and resentment, a Stoic would remain calm, analyze the situation objectively, and respond with wisdom and tolerance. Or when encountering failure, they wouldn't wallow in self-pity and despair, but see it as an opportunity to learn, draw lessons, and continue on their chosen path. In another example, at work, a Stoic wouldn't get caught up in the cycle of competition and comparison with colleagues. Instead, they would focus on self-improvement, dedicate themselves to their work, and treat everyone with respect and fairness. By living according to Stoic principles, we not only achieve inner peace, but also spread positive values to those around us, contributing to a better society. Number 9. Change your perspective, change your emotions. Building on the solid foundation of cultivating personal virtue, let's delve into the next Stoic principle that can potentially transform your life: reframing your perspective. This powerful technique involves altering how you view relationships and their roles in your life, which can be instrumental in achieving emotional detachment. Reframing your perspective is not about denying or changing the truth, but rather changing how you perceive and interpret that truth. It's like looking at a painting from different angles. You'll see new details, hidden beauty that you've never noticed before. Similarly, when you change your perspective on a relationship, you can better understand its nature and the positive and negative impacts it brings to you. For example, if you're feeling distressed by a troubled relationship, you might tend to exaggerate its importance, believing your happiness entirely depends on its success. However, if you try to reframe your perspective, you'll realize that it's just one aspect of your multifaceted life. Many other things can bring you joy and meaning, such as your work, hobbies, family, friends, or even new experiences you've never tried before. When you understand that a relationship isn't everything, you'll no longer feel overly dependent on it. You'll be able to view it more objectively, assess its true value, and make wiser decisions for yourself. This doesn't mean you have to abandon the relationship, but you'll be able to interact with it in a healthier and more balanced way, no longer being caught up in the whirlwind of negative emotions. Reframing your perspective not only helps you break free from painful and stressful emotions, but also opens up new opportunities for self-discovery and personal growth. When you're no longer bound by old thoughts and beliefs, you can see the world with fresh eyes, full of curiosity and excitement. Stoicism teaches that our emotional disturbances come not from events or relationships themselves, but from our beliefs about them. By challenging and changing these beliefs, we can lessen their impact on our emotions. If you believe a falling out with a friend is a catastrophe, it will feel like one. If you see it as a natural ebb and flow of life, it becomes easier to handle. This reevaluation can liberate you from unnecessary suffering and allow you to approach life's challenges with composure and strength. For example, imagine you've been working tirelessly on a project, pouring your heart and soul into it. However, despite your best efforts, the project fails. Your initial reaction might be devastation and self-blame, believing that you're a failure and your work is worthless. This belief can lead to a downward spiral of negative emotions and self-doubt. However, if you reframe your perspective, you might see the failure as a valuable learning experience. You can analyze what went wrong, identify areas for improvement, and use this knowledge to grow and succeed in future endeavors. By shifting your belief from "I am a failure" to "I learned valuable lessons," you transform a seemingly negative event into a stepping stone for personal growth and resilience. Another example could be a romantic breakup. If you believe that losing this person means losing your chance at happiness, you'll likely experience intense grief and despair. However, if you reframe your perspective, you might see the breakup as an opportunity for self-discovery and personal growth. You can focus on rediscovering your passions, strengthening your friendships, and ultimately finding someone who's a better fit for you. By challenging and changing your beliefs about events and relationships, you gain the power to shape your emotional responses. You can choose to see setbacks as opportunities, challenges as adventures, and losses as chances for new beginnings. This shift in perspective not only liberates you from unnecessary suffering, but also empowers you to live a more resilient and fulfilling life. Number 10. Letting go of what you can't control. With its timeless wisdom, Stoic philosophy has offered humanity a secret to achieving true peace and happiness, practicing indifference towards things beyond our control. Life is inherently a series of unexpected turns, unpredictable ups and downs. There are things we cannot change, such as the laws of nature, the actions of others, or sudden events that befall us. If we keep clinging to these things, we will only bring upon ourselves sorrow and suffering. Practicing indifference doesn't mean becoming apathetic or indifferent to everything around us. On the contrary, it's a way to protect our souls from negative external influences, so we can focus on what truly matters and has meaning in our lives. For example, a farmer may lose a harvest due to drought, but he cannot change the weather. However, he can choose to accept the truth, learn from the experience, and seek new solutions for the next season. Or a businessman may face failure in a deal, but he cannot change the partner's decision. Instead, he can focus on analyzing the reasons for the failure, improving his business strategy, and seeking new opportunities. Indifference not only helps us cope with life's difficulties, but also allows us to enjoy the joys more fully. When we're no longer haunted by worries about the future or regrets about the past, we can savor each present moment, cherish what we have, and live a more meaningful life. Imagine you're walking in a forest. You can stop to admire a beautiful flower, listen to the birds singing, or feel the cool breeze on your skin. But if you're constantly worried about getting lost or encountering danger, you won't be able to enjoy the forest's beauty. Similarly, in life, if we constantly worry about things beyond our control, we'll miss out on precious moments and wonderful opportunities. Learn to let go of those worries, focus on what you can do, and enjoy your journey. Practicing indifference is not easy, but it's an important skill that we can learn and cultivate. When you know how to let go of things you can't control, you'll find peace and freedom in your soul. You'll be able to live a more meaningful life, full of joy and happiness. Number 11. Focusing on the present, the key to emotional freedom and living life to the fullest. With its timeless wisdom, Stoic philosophy has gifted humanity a valuable life principle, focusing on the present. This practice not only enhances our daily experiences, but also serves as a crucial technique in the art of emotional detachment, especially when it comes to relationships burdened by past resentments or anxieties about the future. When our minds wander into the past, we easily get caught in a whirlwind of regret, resentment, and suffering. For instance, a person may constantly dwell on past mistakes, missed opportunities, or hurtful words spoken to others. These memories haunt them like ghosts, preventing them from fully enjoying the present moment. Similarly, when we worry about the future, we create unnecessary fear, anxiety, and stress. A person might worry about failing an upcoming exam, not finding a good job after graduation, or the direction of their relationship. These worries not only exhaust them mentally, but also diminish their ability to focus and enjoy the good things happening now. Focusing on the present doesn't mean ignoring the past or the future, but learning to accept them as part of life. The past is gone. The future is yet to come. Only the present truly exists. Cherish every moment, every breath, every emotion, and every experience happening right now. For example, When you're enjoying a delicious meal, focus on the flavors. Feel the warmth of the surrounding atmosphere and savor the joy of sharing the meal with loved ones. Don't let thoughts about work or life's worries bother you. Or, when you're talking to a friend, listen to them sincerely, observe their body language, and feel the connection between you two. Don't let thoughts of past arguments or worries about the future affect your relationship. Focusing on the present doesn't mean ignoring the past or future, but rather learning to accept them as part of life. Imagine you're enjoying a cup of hot tea. Instead of letting your mind wander to future plans or work-related worries, focus on the aroma of the tea. Feel the subtle bitterness on your tongue and the warmth spreading through your body. Or when you're taking a walk in the park, pay attention to the sounds around you, the birds singing, the rustling leaves, and feel the sunlight on your skin. When you learn to live fully in the present, you'll discover a colorful and exciting world. You'll see that happiness isn't a distant destination, but a journey of experiencing each precious moment of life. And when you're no longer bound by the past or the future, you'll be free to choose your own path, build healthy relationships, and create a meaningful and fulfilling life. Number 12. Visualizing the worst-case scenario. Negative visualization, a unique technique in Stoic philosophy, is a powerful tool that helps us detach emotionally and build resilience in our souls. Instead of indulging in illusions of a perfect life, we confront the reality that life is always filled with uncertainties and challenges. Negative visualization is not about pessimism or cynicism, but a way to mentally prepare ourselves for the worst-case scenarios. By imagining difficulties, losses, or failures, we will no longer be shocked or overwhelmed when they actually happen. Instead, we can calmly face them, find solutions, and overcome challenges with greater strength. Imagine you're preparing for a long trip. You wouldn't just pack the essentials for a smooth journey, but also prepare for unexpected situations like car breakdowns, getting lost, or bad weather. Similarly, negative visualization helps us mentally prepare for life's storms, so that when they hit, we won't be knocked down, but can stand strong and overcome them. For example, if you're nervous about an important job interview, try to visualize the worst-case scenarios, such as forgetting your answers, stuttering, or making mistakes. By mentally preparing for these situations, you'll reduce anxiety and be able to focus on performing to the best of your abilities. Or if you're in love with someone, try to visualize the possibility that the relationship might end. This doesn't mean you want it to happen, but you're preparing yourself mentally to face it if it does. That way, you won't be completely devastated when faced with separation, but can accept it as a part of life and move on. Negative visualization is not an easy method, but it's a useful tool to help us cultivate resilience and calmness in our souls. When we face our fears, we will no longer be dominated by them and can live a freer and happier life. The wisdom of Stoicism, as embodied by Marcus Aurelius, offers a profound and transformative path to navigating the complexities of human emotions. Within the Stoic teachings lies a powerful antidote to the emotional turmoil that so often accompanies attachment, providing us with the tools to cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience amidst life's inevitable storms. By embracing the 12 Stoic rules, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and liberation, freeing ourselves from the chains of unhealthy attachments that can weigh us down and hinder our personal growth. These rules, steeped in ancient wisdom and timeless principles, offer a practical framework for understanding our emotions, managing our reactions, and cultivating a deeper connection to our inner selves. Don't let emotional attachments hold you captive any longer. Take the first step towards emotional detachment and inner peace by signing up for our course today. Embrace the wisdom of Stoicism and unlock your true potential for happiness and fulfillment. Remember, the journey towards emotional liberation begins with a single step. Join us on this transformative path and discover the power of Stoicism to reshape your emotional landscape and empower you to live a life of joy, meaning, and resilience.